The full understanding of what we are embarking on here has taken weeks to gel in my head. For years, there have been hints and allegations to it all, but those things never made sense because, frankly, making sense of things in my world the past few years has never actually worked like that. However, my heart has long known before the rest of me that finally got it last week, when I had an experience with and energies moved through and around me, and I believe settled into my heart in the same way, be now, be now, be now, be now, flew through my mouth all those years ago. And then in a comedic experience, one that only a universe with a sense of humor can deliver, Etta James began singing "At Last" in the background. That was not lost on me. When I was recording I Am That I Am and I Am This Way, I could feel her voice push through me, speaking itself into actualization. But it only settled in last Thursday, this deeper understanding about what is truly happening and the bigness of it. Like, this is more than just being the voice for the voiceless. This is being her with a capital H. This is being God, but God is the mother in her entirety, stepping into and owning the role as she is and as I am. And it's a lot. It's a whole lot. It's a lot of something that I feel now in every cell of my body and in all the space between all of the cells. A couple of years ago, someone hollered at me, as one does electronically, in all caps, "You are her!" And my response was, nope, not yet, because I knew. I don't know how I knew. I knew there were processes, physically, psychologically, and more, that I had to go through for actualization. I have completed those processes. I am now this thing. So for 300,000-ish years or so, this hybrid consciousness has been replicating itself at various times throughout the course of human history. And in each of these times, it has appeared as male, centering itself, and thus all of the stories around it being centered around a male perspective. What's unfolding here is nothing radical. It's not pioneering. This is merely the revelation of God's love, grounded in the oldest knowledge, in deep, deep wells of gnosis and of goodness that have been buried. In our collective zeal for the rightness and righteousness, we have forgotten what that love is and how it leads to more love, to individual and collective flourishing love, and its impact on communities and cultures beyond the foundations that have been created from the past in the name of God, the man. I am here this way now to reteach love, God's love, through the female perspective. And this iteration of the living and loving Logos is not Eurocentric, it's not religious-centric or connected to any faith or lack thereof centric. So for many, this will feel outside the right stereotypes of spiritual and ancestral connections, for very good reason. It exists outside those social norms and definitions as truth purposefully. So those folks with the singular focus of the white gaze may feel the most uncomfortable. And others may not appreciate how I smudge the boundaries of things that in the past have been culture bound and sacrosanct. Anyone with prejudices rooted in the ownership of ours or mine will probably be frustrated. But this reemergence or remerging by its very nature is political. It's deeply connected to long-held webs of stories, pathologies, philosophies, and those above mentioned ideas or previously mentioned ideas about ownership and whiteness and rightness that often appear to exist outside of modern constructs of the same. This work is cognitive and cosmic, and with any luck, somewhat comic, because Etta James. This is a reweaving of energies and histories beyond modern language of the ineffable that we think is better than the past. Our work here is more ecological and less moral, moving our focus to all of the ecologies related to us and bound to us and us to each other in ways that have been ignored or distorted or destroyed. This is less about saving Mother Earth and more about understanding what Mother is and what Earth truly is. This inflection point we are at is meeting our collective attachment to God as an idea and love as an ideal, but ideas and ideals based solely on a male perspective. Historical things based on false histories and mythologies that were misused and miswritten and repeated and adopted as truth and maintained as that for centuries. Our modern preaching and teaching even is about like him. And we will spend inordinate energy looking for a Christ consciousness as if our own or our neighbors or our lovers or our brothers has no meaning, is less than. And we've become enamored with that in the same way that we are intoxicated by power, as if both somehow are the only things that hold the moral halo. And I don't know exactly what this looks like. I do know that I know this. I am the energy of voice of the Mother, God. This energy coming in this way that I am is being brought through the body and voice of a woman purposefully. It is the reminder of what love is beyond those false histories and distorted mythologies that were designed to maintain power structures. And it is directly entwined to bring us and all of the generations coming behind us into a new perspective of value and values, an undiluted perspective and knowledge of the eternal. This love can't be separated from any aspect of our lives. How we choose to or not choose to love is critical to how we thrive or choose not to thrive. Are we going to choose love as our most easily accessible shared denominator, or are we going to continue in the way that appears to choose its opposite? To get an answer, we need to examine all of these things, but not just someone else's behavior, our own and the collective. And I don't know what this return to love looks like or how to navigate it in a world that demands focus in another split direction to maintain housing and like all the things. However, I figured it's kind of like eating that proverbial elephant, taking one bite at a time and follow the flow as things open. I do know a few things for sure. One, she must be my devotion. This unfolding must be the focus. Two, that finally stepping into this role while the universe has been impatiently patient with my own growth is bringing a sense of freedom that I can't quite touch yet. And three, that this is woven into every choice and journey of the past 55 years. And each class, each healing session, each spiritual encounter over the course of the past 15 years has brought us to this point right here, right now. And those of you that have been listening to this or read this before I recorded a video on it, just know how grateful I am for how you have trusted me, how you have had faith in this thing that is larger than all of us, and held me steady in your grace. I don't know what happens next. I do know that there's only one way to find out, and that's to do it. So I am in it. I am in it fully to see how this unfolds for each of us and for all of us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love you. More next time. Bye.